Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Well, yeah, our channel, right?
Not your channel.
Yeah, but we are one.
In flesh.
Ah. Welcome back to our channel. As you already know, my name is Angel Ovalle. This is Jose Luis Cruz Contreras. We are back with another episode today, and we're going to be talking about a new property that we just acquired.
We're gonna
But
start getting we're gonna start getting into real estate because we need to.
Well, yeah, because, well, before we start with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of our videos. But mainly, we do need to get into the nitty gritty and business side of what we do because we could be very social and we know when to be in the fuckery, but we also know when we need to be serious, right?
See.
And we just acquired a new property June 1st. June 1st, we closed on a rental property that's about 4 to 5 minutes away from our primary residence, which is this one where we're recording at. And we thought it would be cool to talk about that in this video, just so y'all could see how we go about analyzing our properties, how we find them, who shows face, who does what, and how we divide and conquer and then still come home and be partners. So a little bit about business and a little bit about how we deal with it as couples. So,
So whoa.
what the fuck did you say?
Let's go Biden. No, but
Not the
okay.
Biden.
So why do we do real estate, babe? Why do you think we do real estate? I want to see.
Well, I
I want to see why you think.
was like, fuck.
A ver, why do we
So
do real
pinche
estate?
madre. I have a very different why as to why you have a different why.
Why
But
do you do real estate?
I do real estate because I know it gives you fire.
Because I tell you to do real estate.
Yeah, basically.
I told her, do fucking real estate. Si no, I'll fucking leave you.
No, no. Once I saw the amount of worth and knowledge that is into real estate and how you can grow exponentially as a person, as a business, I was just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. But my why is, of course, for Analia, us, and then for previous generations that I feel like are gonna need our help when
Previous
is it
generations?
previous? Or is yeah, because they're before us. Talking about our parents.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be like my mom, my dad, Jose Luis's parents that I feel like hopefully that once we're in that era of like where I do feel like me and Jose Luis are gonna have to step up and really when it comes to financials, we want to be able to provide and not just be like, well, yo tengo this much in my
Yeah.
savings. And I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah. And the reason why we're saying that is because a lot of Hispanic, well, most of the Hispanic population, they don't believe in having a life insurance. Um, and whenever your parent dies or your grandparent dies, uh, they all start doing the okay, so we got to pitch in to do the funeral, to do this, to do that. And I think that's a little, I don't think that's okay because we should be spending that time mourning and crying in peace.
Yeah, or another thing is like not that I'm gonna like I'm trying to belittle people that do this, but let me put this in perspective, right? A lot of people that are here watching this know mine and Jose Luis's social life and just how or whatever brought you here, right? But most of the stuff is like, oh, y'all travel a lot. Oh, y'all must have a lot of money. Or, like I feel like that's what brings people to want to know what me and Jose Luis do is because there's this belief that we carry around wads of money or that we have a lot together and that we travel and they just are interested unconsciously or consciously, of like, how do they do it? They're like in their, we've been doing this since we were in our 20s.
like a year ago.
You're 31, bruh.
No, I'm still
Yeah,
30.
but you're gonna be
But our 20s
31.
was a year ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we've been doing this since our early
Since
20s.
2019.
Oh my God.
Y luego?
But I feel like there's this belief that people think that. So then, like, imagine if, like, que Dios no quiera, right? But like one of our parents passes away, and then we're like, "Hi guys, we're gonna host a plate sale
Or a GoFundMe, yeah.
or
Why
a
are you laughing?
GoFundMe."
That's not funny.
It's funny because I would think, like, if I had a friend that like I thought was like balling, right? Or like was
Oh,
taking all these
yeah.
trips, and then their mom passes away and they're like, "Necesito un GoFundMe porque para enterrarlo son
Yeah.
$5,000." Like, no mames. I just feel like that is not okay because I don't care. Like, it just tells a lot about a person, like where your priorities are at. And if it's not centered around family, like, then what is it centered
Yeah.
around? It's kind of pointless. Like, why did you do all of that? It's like you're living a life to impress when your values are just fucked up. So
Yeah.
that's the way I feel, like,
So,
without censors.
yeah, I believe that a lot of people focus on the wrong things. And that is because there's a lack of money.
Yeah, so to say.
So if you don't have money, then you're just too focused on money. But if you have plenty of money, then you don't, since you got the money already, you're focusing on your relationships, you're focusing on your skin, your health, right?
I'm
So
on
like
into
that,
skincare right
on the
now.
things that matter. So that's why I do it, because I still don't got money. So I'm still no,
Well,
but like I see now, like my purpose is not money. My purpose is
strategy.
uh, that's not my purpose. But my purpose is to make sure that I impact people in a positive way, and I make sure that I help them grow spiritually.
Hmm.
And then from there, we can do financially, and then yeah,
Yeah, I feel like real estate just in general has opened up so many avenues for both me and Jose Luis. Um, yeah, we've met wonderful people, been able to tag team next to people that are now we consider like our best friends, and it's just it's pretty crazy how when you come around like-minded individuals and then y'all become a team, the amount of shit that can get done by just doing that. So I think that real estate has just been impactful in so
hmm.
many ways. So,
Pero bueno, anyways, enough of that.
yeah, that's why we do it.
But that's what we do it. And
Not
also,
for the money, because I haven't seen a
nah,
penny
we
about
haven't.
money.
No, so we haven't seen the money,
Yeah,
because we're not flipping houses. Our strategy is hold or rentals.
yeah.
So that means that eventually, I mean, we have the money on paper because everything's in the equity of the house. Babe, what is equity?
Mm.
What is equity?
Equity. Why do you always give me the definitions?
Go on. Okay.
So, equity is the worth of the house, what it's valued at,
The
the
difference
difference
between
between the ARV, what it
the
sells
market value
for
of a
in the
house
house, and what it actually sells for. And the
and
difference is yours.
the amount of your mortgage.
Yeah, that.
So you
But if you
get,
don't have a mortgage, then it's all yours.
yeah, but nobody, that's,
I don't know about nobody.
huh?
I don't know about
That's only
nobody.
old people.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
still people out
but
there.
if you're not old, you shouldn't have your house paid off. But that is equity. So if your house is worth 200 and you owe 100,000, then you have 100,000
100,000 in
in
equity. And
equity.
that's in your portfolio.
And yeah, so
That's what matters.
that's where all that's where most of our money is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, now that you're saying that, another thing is like the belief that people think like, oh, tienen casas de renta, they have houses for rent, or like of the amount of times that I've asked, fuck it, just put it out there, family members, and I'm like, oh, like, me pueden ayudar con esto, me pueden ayudar con otro. Never money, but like, let's say favors or whatever. They're like, pero tú tienes dinero. And I'm like,
who has told you that?
that's none of your business. But Or like I hear that my mom will be like, ellos siempre piensan que tú estás bien cargada. And I'm like, but my thing is like, why would they believe that, right? So then it goes back to the same thing. They think that because you own all of this stuff, they think that you're loaded with money. Hence, forgetting that to buy stuff, you have to pay money, right? And then, yeah, you have tenants in there, and people think like, oh, the first of the month is like your favorite day. And I'm like, it can be. But when it comes to like our situation, and we'll go into that on how we rent our properties and how we'll be super transparent about how we go about the process. It's like you still have a mortgage
Yeah.
and you have tenants, but your tenants are paying your mortgage. So please tell me where are all these loads of money that you think I have, or that we have, or whatever the case may be. It's
Well,
really, really annoying when people think that we're just walking wads of money.
but make this clear: the tenants are not paying your mortgage. The tenants are paying the rent.
Yes, but
So
you
they're
want to make sure your rent.
no, yeah, but the tenants pay the rent because they're paying to have the right to live in that house,
Yeah,
and you get that money to pay the mortgage.
that's what I said. I was
Yeah,
just about
but
to go into details.
because it sounds ugly, and they called me a rat.
Who said that?
People on Facebook.
Who are people on Facebook?
Well, people, I don't know them, but one time they called me you're a rat because you're taking people's money.
So Walmart, HEB,
So that yeah, so,
Exxon,
so that's the thing. Like
Valero.
they think that because you're a landlord, you take the majority of the money, but we don't. We really don't make money.
So you go back to the same thing. People will label people. Like, why don't we think about renters this way? Your renter, the person you're renting from, is giving you an opportunity to live in a house that you don't have to fix pipes when they break. You don't have to fix ACs. I'm getting hot right now, guys, because this is the stuff Jose Luis doesn't tell me because when I see him on the phone and he's at night and he's just like on a rampage, I'm like, I'm gonna ignore that because I'm in my bathtub. I just did my skincare. I'm just like, no one's gonna break this essence I'm in. But I know he gets in these heated conversations with literally like uninformed people, to say that nicely, because there's many ways you could think of stuff. Like we could say like the IRS or this, and like tax collectors or this, and like to say that you're a rat because you're renting to people, you're literally giving people opportunities. We got called so many ugly things when we were on the wholesale side of stuff because they're like, you're taking advantage of people that are in foreclosure. And I don't know if y'all seen our first video of that we did on YouTube. I don't know if it's on the business YouTube or on mine.
Both I think it's on mine.
It's on
So
yours.
yeah, so go follow me. Yeah.
Yeah. Jose Luis has a really good video where we were doing wholesale. And it's crazy because we went into this property just to give you an example of how you could like literally change the way you see things or put it into perspective in a whole different way, right? There, not to say there is people that do take advantage of foreclosed people, but there's a way to look at this stuff because we were getting a property, our first property we got to, it was for wholesale intentions from us, right? We got it from a lady that we came across, right? She was about to get foreclosed on, and this was a property in Del Rio. She was gonna get foreclosed on. They were literally gonna put a sign on her door and tell her, get the fuck out, like evicted. Figure it out. Not one penny to her purse for her to relocate, find out where she was gonna relocate to, not a hotel night stay anywhere. Here we come along, we're investors, and we're like, okay, I see you're getting foreclosed on, right? You could take two options. Option one is inevitable. You're going to get your house foreclosed on, right? So you either do as the state says, wait till your last day here, get as much as you can out and relocate. Hence, that takes movers' fees. People to move all your shit from your house that you're about to get foreclosed on to a storage or to hence wherever you're moving, right? Let's say an apartment, whatever. Apartment fees, a new payment on wherever you're living, and like all the costs that it takes to relocate someone, right? Not only, and then hence if you have a whole family to relocate all those people too, right? And then foreclosure hits you on your what is it? Your credit statement, right? Whatever it may be. Anyways, so then we come along and we're like, this is inevitable. This is what's going to happen. You're going to get foreclosed on. What we can do to help you is instead of you leaving with not a penny or dime in your pocket, let us give you 60K for this house. You sell it to us, we pay the taxes on it, and it's a legal sale. Now you have someone to relocate you because now you have the money and the funds to do that. Now you can go get an apartment when that probably was not possible if you fucked up your credit with the foreclosure on your credit line. And that's what people do not see. People are like, you take advantage of them. No, I don't. I give them possibilities, hope that for more because they leave when when you're foreclosed on, these people are hopeless. Like you think that when people get foreclosed on, they just find out from one day to another. No, this is years of them waiting for this day to come. And then literally the county is like, you have 30 days to get the fuck out. So they have like years to set themselves up to either pay that or don't pay that and wait till the day that they get foreclosed on, right? With all of this, there's like emotional trauma, like all this stuff that loads on stress. God knows, I feel so bad for people that go through this, but this is real life stuff that happens to sometimes very good people. So then when you give them just that little bit of hope of like, hey, let me put 60K in your pocket, 30, 40K, whatever the case may be, that's 60 more than they already didn't have. And then it goes off like a legal sale and foreclosure doesn't hit their credit score. So you tell me how we're taking advantage. But people don't see that way. Why? Because they're misinformed. And some people just don't want to be informed. They just feel like labeling people and thinking that because we're taking these properties away. Like, no, the state does that. We don't do that. So that's that. Sorry, I just got really hot for you telling me that people were calling you a rat.
Oh, but yeah.
But same thing with renters. So like people can't afford a home.
Well, they can, but the thing is that they don't have the credit,
Yeah.
or yeah, the majority of the stuff. Well, the main thing is I think it's the credit, or they're just not like confident enough to go and buy a house.
Not that. There's a few reasons. There's low credit, no credit. You have people that are still working to get their papers fixed, or people that get paid cash. We've had people that want to rent our properties and we're like, why don't you own a home? And they're like, well, I get paid cash. And we're like, okay, so you don't claim taxes. That's another huge one. People don't pay
Yeah,
taxes.
people don't pay taxes. Yeah, that's true.
That is a
Income
huge
tax.
one. Income tax is a huge thing. Or people are like, oh no, I keep more from my income if I just claim no taxes or a loss on my businesses. Or you're an entrepreneur and every year they claim losses. Well, that's a loss on your income is no income to a loan officer. So that means if you have no income, then why would anybody loan you an amount of money to get a house? So that's that. So there's a few reasons why people don't get houses, but then they become renters, right? So then your renter, your person you're renting from, gives people like this an opportunity to be able to live in a home and to say there is a few slumlords that we don't associate with, right? But we do know that there is a few slumlords. And I wish that there wasn't. Like these people are literally paying your note. So like why not take care of them? At the end of the day, this is your property. It is your responsibility. So we're not those type of renters. We usually acquire a property, put in anywhere from 5 to 15 is what we've done and the stuff people care about. We're talking about restrooms, kitchen. Jose's huge on interior, like paint, baseboards, flooring, like stuff like that, because it's like people are gonna live here, and we're a huge no carpet kind of people. So we'll take that out. We'll put in vinyl flooring, stuff that is durable, not overpriced, and still like good enough to where people can live comfortably. We also take care of all the other big stuff. So it's like that's kind of how we just go about once we acquire property. But before that, I'll let Joselisa explain how we actually get our rentals. How do you get our rentals? because no has hablado.
Déjame hablar.
Oh, yeah, I talk a lot, but I got hot there for a
We
minute.
we were just saying that we rent houses. That's it. Oh, okay. Anyway, so this is why we bought another house. It was not in the plan. We were not planning on buying a house or another house. Well, actually, we were, but we were not pushing for it until we noticed that uh, the day of our wedding is real close. Well, it's getting closer and closer as
Fast.
time passes by, and it is kind of fast. So here are some important details. Once we get married, that means that my houses will be hers, or I we cannot get a house as individuals because now we are married.
Now we are one.
Now we will become one in flesh. So the goal was to take advantage of some products that FHA, conventional, and all of those agencies give to people. So I've never owned a house under my name. I've owned houses under entities. So that means that I can still get an FHA. Angel has never gotten an FHA because this house where we live at has a home. It has a home equity loan. So that means that she was eligible to get an FHA. So I told her we need to get an FHA with your name, just your name, as soon as possible. Why? Because they're not. You don't have to put a lot of money down. And if it makes sense, if the numbers make sense, then they make sense. So we went and looked for. Well, first of all, we went ahead and make sure that she was pre-approved. That's one of the things that you need to do before you go and look at houses. Make sure that they approve you for the loan, and we did that. Después de ahí que hicimos.
So no, basically, well, yeah, everything you said, but our plan was to go in through this transaction as an FHA. Then once we ran the numbers and everything compared to what the monthly payment was going to be and how much it was going to be to attach at the end and the requirements that they were wanting to meet for the deadline that I wanted for the closing date, FHA was going to move too slow on it. So we ended up closing conventional, which is fine. It's hassle. At the end of the day, oh, I could let you explain what's the difference between FHA and conventional when it comes to payments
Well,
because a lot of
FHA,
people don't
it's
know
a
this.
first-time home buyer or first-time home buyer assistance. That means that you got to put in 3%. Sometimes you don't have to pay anything. There's some programs that will pay all the closing costs. You don't have to put down anything. The only thing is you have to get a private mortgage insurance, which means that you're gonna pay like an extra 200 to 300 bucks.
And that was not cool. That was I
Um,
think that was another reason why, because it would have raised our monthly payment
yeah,
to something that I did not like for because remember, right, depending on what my mortgage was gonna be, then that was gonna fast say what kind of people I was gonna target for renting. So if I'm gonna be renting in the 2000s, I better make sure that house is nice. Because the people that are renting in the 2000s, the quality of homes that they're looking for is a lot nicer than like if we rented it for 1,600 or 1,800. So to say that, then I was like, I don't want to rent at 2,000. That's expensive for our area. So we went ahead and went conventional. But go ahead, baby.
and then we found out that we could get a conventional loan with 5% down.
Mm-hmm.
The only condition was that you need to live there for at least for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to say, yeah, I am going to be living there for a year. So we went ahead and did the conventional. So and just going, it's gonna be living there for a year, right?
Yeah.
So we got that, but or like she was saying, always make sure we. This is why I love real estate. It's because the risk, it's always calculated. You can calculate your risks.
Mm-hmm.
You can know the numbers. You can see the numbers. Now it's real hard to do, and this is why we bought a pre-owned. It's because you can see how much they charge in taxes, the city, and you can calculate your mortgage real good, real easy. And you can also, since it's a established neighborhood, you already you can see the rent comps. So you have to compare how much the houses around that area are renting for. Once you see that, you want to make sure that your mortgage is going to be the same or less than the rents around that area. She got pre-approved, and this is another thing.
It was
This
also
is
my second property.
it was yeah. So
That's why we were iffy if we were going to get pre-approved or not,
well,
because this was going to be my second property and we had to justify how I was going to pay for two mortgages.
so we took advantage of the fact that we're still not married.
Hmm.
So I pay for the mortgage on this house, right? We're not married.
As you should.
The lender asked Angel, well, how are you gonna be able to pay for the other mortgage? And your debt to income ratio was high. But once she told her that she had a tenant in this house, which was me, then her debt to income ratio just lowered big time. So that's how she was able to get pre-approved because she had a tenant, which is
Yep.
me, because I'm not her husband. Then they asked her, well, do you have proof of the payments or the rent
Yes, I do.
payments? And we were like, yes, every month I send her the money for the rent, but it's for the mortgage. So that's how we were able to take advantage of that. Now we got that property, and now the goal is to get another property before we get married. That way I can get one under my name.
Mhm.
And that way we don't have to present any of her payments, any of her income, because it's going to be me as a single person. And if they ask me, how are you going to be able to pay it? I'm going to tell them, well, if I start living in this new property, I'm not going to have this rent. Whatever I'm paying for the rent for this house, I'm not going to have it anymore. And that's going to give me a lot of uh,
Leverage.
leverage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, another way, going a little bit backwards, the way we acquire our rentals, one of our rentals we got from kind of like what I said, wholesale. We got that one off of someone that owned taxes, but there's a whole video on that one. And I think it's on your channel, right? Where we talk about real estate. That one is on Jose Luis's channel, and that's the way we got that one. This current last one we just got off of the MLS. Crazy thing is that this property was not selling because the roof was very damaged, and then one of the master bath restrooms was outdated AF. Like tile was broken, there was mold on the tile and the grout, right? And me and Jose Luis, when we took on our personal property, which is the one we're recording from right now, we did a complete rehab. And this is why I'm saying like real estate is like fuel to our hearts because we learned so much. And me and Jose Luis are those people that we cannot be complacent and we always want to learn and learn and learn and learn. So Jose Luis and me now have the gift thanks to the struggles that we went through with this house. It was a blessing in disguise, babe.
Mm-hmm.
All our tears. um, that we can now look at a project and be like, that's going to be 8 grand. That's going to be 2 grand. That's about 3 to 5 grand. And we can know how much we're going to go in and not go in blindly, right? And this is aside from the fact that when we were about to close, we actually got this property from the MLS. So just like everybody else, that goes and looks for a first time home buyer house.
And it was also our first property from the MLS.
Yeah, it was our first property from the MLS. Everything else we did kind of from like wholesaling and stuff like that. But or like tax, people owing taxes on their homes and
Yeah,
stuff
our
like that.
first two houses were houses that that Angel found
Oh,
uh
did you just give me credit?
straight
Say
from
that
the
again, baby.
owners. And then the third house, which was this one, we got it from a wholesaler.
Who found it?
Huh?
Who found
This
that
one?
one? Yeah.
Oh, you.
Oh my god, that sounds sexy.
But
And
I
then
bought it.
Mm. That's about as much credit as I'm gonna get.
Y luego, and then the fourth house, we got it from the MLS. So we had bought properties straight from the owner, from a wholesaler, and from with a realtor. So we've done.
A few.
I think we've done.
We've done two straight from the owner.
Yeah,
The
that's what.
eviction
Yeah,
one, the one taxes, wholesaler, and then MLS.
yeah.
Dang, we've done all pretty. Hell yeah, bro.
See,
Let's
like,
go. Let's go.
no grites.
Okay. Sorry. Se me olvida que tengo un
Uh,
micrófono.
damn. We're blessed. Like, think about it. Like, now that we're saying this, like, we've done a lot.
And we're still together.
And no, like, you're my landlord. I'm your tenant. But that feels badass because I didn't realize that we've gotten two houses from the owners, straight from the owners. The third one from a wholesaler, the fourth one with a realtor, and then the fifth one, which is the one that we want to get next.
It's going to be straight from
It's
the.
gonna be it's probably gonna be a new build,
Yeah. That's going to be a whole
and
other
but it's
transaction.
not gonna be for us. It's gonna be for a tenant,
Yeah.
and people would be like, "Well, it's a brand new house. Why not just enjoy it?" It's because it's not. It's just the house. It's an investment.
I don't want a new house.
And I love this house.
Me too.
So like, yeah, and we can tell you why we want a new house because we went to a real estate symposium where we learned a lot and we learned a new strategy with new builds. Um, but ¿qué estábamos hablando hace rato?
So, so yeah, so we bought this property from how we acquired it. We got this one
Okay,
from the
yeah.
MLS. We actually have a preferred realtor that is Jose Luis's best
El
friend.
Josue
Yeah,
Josue Martin with if you're from here, San Antonio, go and if you're looking for a house, go and talk to Josue Martin with
Josue
Keller Williams
Martin
or
with
Martin.
Keller
Josue Martin
Williams.
Williams with Keller Williams with Maloof International Group.
Yeah,
Sí se dice así, ¿no?
see.
Se llama así. With him. But
The
yes.
reason why we're talking about Josue is because he is not only a real estate agent, he's an investor himself, and he is now a brand new daddy. So
Yeah.
I think he really hones in on people's reasons why they're acquiring a property. And like when it comes to us, he's like, I already know what y'all are gonna do. So like just tell me what, and then he finds us people that think like us and are not gonna give us all the fuckery of stuff like you need to turn this in and why are you doing this and why that he gets it, like truly gets it. And he's like, don't bullshit them. Like they are busy people and he really hones in on that. So really good real estate agent. So I highly
Yeah.
recommend.
So that's the way we got this house.
Oh yeah, so we went to go see it and we're like, why aren't people buying this house? Like, so the houses in that area are listed about, so this is another thing. This is the way I'll let Jose Luis explain it, but we analyzed the neighborhood and Jose Luis saw that the houses in that area were selling from anywhere from 220 to 260.
mhm,
And he was like, okay, the house was on the market for 190.
190.
190. We went in and we're like, why isn't it selling? I think it was on the MLS for how long?
100 and something days. It was
Yeah.
almost 3 months.
So
More
this
than
is,
3 months.
yeah. So the way Jose Luis analyzes that is a very exhausted seller. He has been waiting 100 and something. So that's at 3-month payments without a tenant in that property to pay his
Yeah, because
mortgage.
yeah, and it said it on the description. It used to be a rental property.
Hmm.
So you know that the person more than likely has a mortgage payment.
A note, yeah, to that property.
And even at that, right? If you don't have a mortgage payment, if you still have a house, you still gotta pay taxes, property taxes. So for every day that you own a house, you still gotta pay those taxes for those days. Whenever you close on the property, if you close on the 31st of July,
Hmm.
you have to pay 6 months worth of property taxes the
Prorated
moment you sell. So they take that amount out of the proceeds.
proceeds.
So you're still losing money.
Hmm.
And the worst thing that you can have as a real estate investor is a vacant home.
Yeah. So then we looked at that and we're like, okay, why isn't this property selling? Right. We went to go tour it because we do that. It's all a numbers game. Jose Luis just explained this. It's all a numbers game. And if the numbers make sense, don't waste your time going out there and just looking properties. You could, what is it, window shop all day and be extremely exhausted and forget what you're actually doing. But it's all a numbers game. So this is what me and Jose Luis did. We sat back and we're like, okay, this property is selling at a reduced rate. It's not that bad compared on the pictures. I sound like I'm in an okay, there you go. It sounded like I was in an empty room. So then we looked at the property and Jose Luis was like, okay, I could see why it's not running. There was, I'm sorry, we could see why it's not selling. He's like, the roof needs work. A lot of doors need to be replaced, like three or four. I was like, it needs to be painted. It needs a deep cleaning. And that's what first time home buyers look at. Not the roof, but like the restroom. Like that's the main thing. And the kitchen's outdated, but it's very much renter friendly, right? So then we were like, this is doable. We went in, we came back home, and Jose Luis is like, that restroom can be done for less than 5 grand. That roof is gonna cost us a pretty penny, anywhere from 7 to 10. He was like, so let's put that into perspective, run it in the numbers, whatever, right? But then you still gotta remember that that's an exhausted seller. So he's now probably in the need to sell, or yeah, in a desire need to sell. And our real estate agent went ahead and put it on our contract that he was willing to sign once we did of course, representing us, that we were willing to sign after inspections, and then we would move forward. So he was like, okay, we signed for 190 at that time.
No,
What was it? I
we
don't even
sent
know.
an offer. So we
Oh,
sent
yeah,
we
yeah,
sent
yeah.
an
There we go.
offer
That was a timeline.
for 100
You lowballed
a
that.
179.
Yeah, yeah.
We asked for a $10,000 discount, and they came back at 185.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, nope, let's meet at 182.
No, we signed at 185.
No,
Yeah, we did, baby.
no,
We did. I have the contract. We signed at 185, and then we said, okay, but let's do the inspection.
no. The
Then,
inspection has to
oh,
do
yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
that's right. That's right. That's right. You're right. We still went down again.
No, we signed at 182.5,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, okay, let's do that. Then we agreed on the price. We sent the
The
earnest
terms.
money,
Yeah.
option fee, and everything. After that, we, as you always should, you have to send an inspector to go see the house because there's things that you won't see. Because we just went in there, we looked at it real quick, and we're like, nah, yeah, we can see the obvious things, right?
Mm.
But then with the inspector, what he does is that he gives you a detail inspection with pictures, descriptions, and everything, and he will tell you what needs to be done, like now or yesterday,
Mm.
and what needs a little bit of improvement.
Mm.
So once we did that, we got the report. We also, well, we first got the report, and the roof needed to be replaced, the AC needed to be serviced, uh,
Electrical needed to be
electrical.
grounded.
There were some electrical issues, and so we sent that back, and we're like, y'all need to fix all of
Oh, no,
this.
no, no, no. Back door needed to be fixed. Burglar bars off. Back deck done. Like,
Yeah,
like removed.
yeah. So we asked for all of that. We asked for repairs, and to make it short, and they came back and they told us we'll do all of that if you come up to 185. Now, to replace a roof, it like we were saying, it takes anywhere from 6 to 10,000. It all depends on who you
Yeah.
hire, what type of material you want to use, but it's gonna cost you more than 6 grand. And they told us, well, we'll replace it if you pay us an extra 2,500. And when he said that, we were
Like,
like,
this is a no brainer.
let's do it.
Yeah, this is a no brainer.
So because we were technically getting
A roof.
a roof for 60% off,
Plus our electrical being
plus
grounded.
plus electrical, plus AC being served, like we're getting a lot of stuff done for the discount. So we said, yeah, let's
Will
do
come
it.
up to 185.
We'll come up
Yeah.
to 185. So we did the amendment, and we did that. Y luego,
So then basically all of that got done. He waited till probably the week of closing to get the roof finished. And then they still had to send an inspector again because the inspector has to justify like this did get done and it's done properly. This isn't even us doing the work, but since we know the process, we were like, bro, he needs to hurry up on that roof because if not, we're not gonna be able to close by this Monday, whatever the case was. Anyways, we go to closing, whatever. The appraisal for the property came back and it was at 182. 182. Here's where Josue's magic comes in. He fought for the price. He goes, go to closing. We'll figure it out there. CDs aren't done, but you're gonna close today. And I was like, okay. We go, we close, and the final sale of the property was 181, which is right at appraisal. So then this is another question that a lot of people ask us, and I'll have you explain. Why would the seller have the house listed as 190 when it appraised at 181? What is the seller mentality to
that,
clear that up
that someone's gonna buy it.
above market
Yeah,
price?
so someone's gonna go in there and be like, "Yeah, I'll pay you that. That's fine."
And it's crazy because first time home buyers do that a lot.
Because they get excited.
Yeah, and real estate investors know, like we know what the property appraised at, and I'm not gonna pay a penny over that because this isn't my home, you know? And that's the difference between investors and first-time home buyers. Are we lowballing a seller? No, because your property is not worth that.
We're
And
paying fair price.
yeah, we're paying for a price. So why do people list their homes above and then people call us rats because we lowball them? No, we're lowballing you for a fair price. The sellers are sometimes the ones that are doing rat activities when they're selling to first time home buyers, to people at a jacked up price, knowing that neighborhood is not at par for that price that you just listed your property for. Or they're like, I a la cuadra está una casa bien bonita that sold for 260. And you're like, who gives a fuck what they sold for? Because your house is not that house. And like you cannot sell property just based off of the looks or whatever. It always has to be based off of the appraisal. So I just wanted Joselis to clear that up because a lot of people do jack up their prices, and someone that is a first time home buyer doesn't know what the actual value of the house is. And sometimes the realtors won't even disclose that because remember, at the end of the day, the sale of the property at what it's sold at is based on their is what bases their commission. So if they sell a property, let's say that house actually sold for 190, what the seller was selling it for, that commission check to that agent would have been a lot more than what we sold at 181, right? So that's why real estate agents won't give the appraisal. What they will give is they'll slide in your appraisal what the city appraised it at and what your inspector appraised it at right in the middle of these big old files where you will miss it. I guarantee you will miss it. So that's very important to know.
No, but the looks of the other houses do matter because the appraisals come from those houses.
If they
But
sell,
yeah,
if they sell at that price.
but the they
But
come
what I'm
from.
saying is like if
Yeah,
your
you have to
little
compare your
yeah,
house to the
yeah,
other
your
house. Yeah,
rinky
if your
dinky
house
house.
doesn't look like the other houses, then yeah, you're not gonna get the same amount of money.
Yeah, because we hear that so much. Like even when we're doing like a wholesale transaction, or like what Jose Luis said, like we're actually dealing with the owner themselves, and we're not going through an MLS or a real estate agent. We hear that so much. Like yo no voy a aceptar. I'm not gonna accept for you to give me a low ball amount of 180 when the houses down the block sold for 240, and you're like, yeah, but your kitchen is orange, your tile is all broken. Nothing has been updated. You don't even know when the last time you even checked your foundation. Like the walls are cracked, which tells me your foundation's broken. Like stuff like
Yeah,
that. People just think that because other properties sold at that amount, their fair amount in their Delulu head is that amount. And it's like, no, that's not true. So that's why I'll say that. But yeah, no, very much. So like our property, yeah, it appraised at 181, right in the smack middle of houses that are selling in 240 to 260. But if we compare to the MLS what those properties look like, we would need to put in at least a good 20K
yeah.
in that house
So that's why the best thing to do is to go and look at ugly houses in the MLS
that have been sitting for a long
that have
time.
been sitting for a long time because those are the houses where you can ask for a big discount.
Hmm.
If and then another thing, if you want to get top dollars for your house, the best place where you can put it at it's the MLS, but you have to make sure that you rehab or keep it updated. You gotta make sure you do the repairs that need to be done
The right way.
the right way, and you have to make sure that you look at the houses that are selling around that area to make sure that your house looks the same or better than them because you're competing against other houses.
And then not only that, but like first time home buyers, and I've seen this a lot with my friends since they were just recently buying. They go in and they're looking at walls, which is crazy because you're like, you could literally paint that. Floors, and you're like, you don't like them, change them. That's like what, 2 grand, 3 grand, five
Yeah.
grand if you're doing the whole house. So I'm like, you're literally tripping on pennies for dollars. Or like they're like, oh, but my cabinets are not nice. Those aren't the cabinets I want. I'm like, so you rip them out. Like I feel like when you're tripping about a house because of the price, trip about a roof, trip if your electrical doesn't work, a restroom isn't flushing, the sewer system's messed up, or foundation. Those are like huge things. But everything else is super cosmetic. So it's crazy because first time home buyers, they really do look at like the what is it? Like they trip over pennies for dollars. Like they won't even ask about the foundation. Like
They
when
trip
was
over dollars for pennies.
over pennies for dollars? No, they're tripping over pennies. Like they're tripping over vinyl when the foundation, which is dollars, hasn't even been serviced in God knows how long. You know what I mean? They're tripping on pennies when the real money is
Yeah, they're tripping on dollars for pennies.
no pennies for
Because the
dollars.
dollars, the big stuff is right there, and they're tripping over it to get the
Oh
pennies.
my God.
¿Me entiendes o
How
no?
says Matthew from the Bible?
It doesn't make sense, babe.
It shouldn't make sense
How
for
should
you.
it feel then?
Jose Luis is super logical.
Oh, bueno, y luego?
So yeah,
But
so
yeah,
it's
they worry about the wrong stuff.
yeah, they worry about all the wrong stuff
And
and
yeah, like worry about your like foundation. What's the other one? Roof.
roof,
What's the other one?
electrical and plumbing,
Electrical, plumbing, and what's the other one? You're
sewer,
missing one. Well,
roof,
sewer is yeah. That's
roof, electrical, plumbing,
plumbing
foundation.
is plumbing is the sewer.
What am I missing?
The HVAC, your AC.
Well, I mean, if it already has one,
You have to make sure that it works.
yeah, but if it doesn't work, then it's only like 5K to get another one.
That's still a major expense.
Not compared to a roof and a foundation
If it's outdated and you need a complete new system,
with ducts and everything.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's about 10 grand.
Yeah. Everything that's behind the walls. So if you go into a house and you're like, wait, no me gustan las
It's
paredes.
like buying a new car or buying a car and not looking at your tires or not looking to see if the oil was changed or if the car has gas.
That is why Jose Luis does the automobile side of stuff. So yeah, so it's crazy because some people will be like, ay, pero tiene popcorn ceilings. And I'm like, déjate mamadas, you know? It's like stuff like that I'm just like, I have no filter for. But yeah, so we go back to the same thing. So the goal was to rent. So we're like, we're gonna remodel that restroom. Who gives an F about the mold? Because we're gonna rip out sheetrock, tile, everything, right? Like that's gonna be a whole new restroom. And then they were gonna do everything else, right? So we're like, good. It'll be up to par for a renter once we're done with all of that. And then my mom will come in and do her magic with the deep cleaning. So we're like, okay, a good 5 to 6K, and this house should be good to rent
Mhm.
after sale, right? So that's what we did. We went in, bought the property, and not even a week later, Jose Luis got dirty and started doing the remodeling of the restroom. He didn't actually do it. He hired someone to do the complete restroom. What else did you do?
No, textura, pintura,
Oh yeah, he had to texture the restroom and paint. He also
minor things.
yeah, like baseboards, doors needed to be fixed. What else did you do? Oh, you fixed the back door.
Yeah, like
Very minor stuff.
minor
Yeah.
stuff.
So we bought the house for 181. Our monthly payment with taxes and insurance came out to like, let's say 1,700.
And with PMI.
Oh yeah, and with PMI. Oh yeah.
So If you pay less, I think it's 10%. Como se dice? Don't quote me on that, but I believe is that if you pay less than 10% down, you have to get by law you have to get private mortgage insurance, and that is for in case you don't have money to pay your mortgage, then that insurance kicks in and it will take care of your mortgage.
They could pay for your mortgage?
Yeah, but it affects you.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's another insurance. You can get insurance for everything. But yeah, so that means that eventually we can ask for that once we have more equity. We can call and ask the lender to get
Remove
rid of
that.
that. Yep, and you're gonna have
Yeah.
more cash flow.
Oh, so to be super transparent, closing costs were about 15,000 and some change because we didn't go FHA. Remember conventional. I don't even remember what our percentage was on closing because, like I just said, Josue figured all that out and fought with the lender at the end and the loan officer at closing for all of that to get reduced. So I was looking at bringing 18,000 to the table, but we ended up bringing
Hmm.
15 to be super transparent and some change. And then we closed on the property. Monthly payment was 1,600 and some change, right? 1,600 and some change. Yeah. And that's with insurance and taxes included. One thing you should always do is get your mortgage payment with taxes and insurance included. And then once we did that, Jose Luis remodeled the restroom, did all the other work, and then we were already showing it with possibilities of renting without the restroom being remodeled. We had already showed the property like for a good week, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of renters that came through to the house to see it was insane. It was low key giving me that like we should have listed this for more, like per month rent. But then I was like, no, I shouldn't also be greedy, like we just said earlier. But it tells you once we saw the amount of people that came by to see the property for possible being tenants, I was like, it is a huge renter's market right now. And that area is huge renter friendly. Like people are constantly looking in this area to rent, right? So then that was a huge green flag for me. And I was like, go in, like, do whatever you got to do, whatever it costs us, like, let's just get this property up and running like ASAP. Jose Luis finished about a week ago,
2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago, and got a renter today.
finally.
So, yeah,
So we're ready to go get another one.
yeah. So we're about to rinse and repeat. Another crazy thing, we could talk about myths of what people think when they're gonna get a rental property in another video. But a few things that we ran into with people telling us were like, who's gonna pay that? Or why wouldn't they just go buy their own property? No one's gonna pay that for rent. They might as well like just stay in an apartment, or like what's the difference if they just went to go get their own property? Like we just said, there's many reasons why people cannot qualify and they have to still sit out a year, 2 years to get their taxes in orders, get their social securities, build up some credit history. And they're still really good people. Jose Luis does the screening process. You could talk a little bit about that, babe.
Yeah, do
How do
you
we screen
so
out our tenants?
there is a software where you can put your property in there, you can put pictures and they'll do most of the marketing for you. They market your house on Zillow, Realtor.com, TrulyApartments.com. So it basically does whatever an agent's gonna do.
Mhm.
So we really don't need an agent to list your property for rent. Also, I don't think you need a management company to do all of this for you. Oh, we only have what, two rentals, so I don't need that. Two rentals is really, it should be manageable. I don't, it's not that hard.
Especially if you screen properly and you have good tenants
Yeah,
in there, you should not need a
yeah.
tenant manager. Like,
Um,
no.
so yeah, just it helps you out. It gives you all the questions that you need to ask. It also puts like there's a lot of call to action there for the tenants or for the leads, and you can tell who's if people can't fill out an application or a pre-screener, then that's a big clue that they're not gonna follow instructions. So that keeps you that filters a lot of people, and you don't waste your time. So I was saying, Angel, if I don't fill out this, I'm not gonna go and show the house because I'm wasting my. There was a day that I went there and I wasted an hour of my day just waiting for people that never showed up, and those were the people that never filled. Actually, no, yeah, they didn't fill out the pre-screener, so I wasted my time. I was pretty mad, and I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore. So anytime they would call me, I would be like, I have a pre-screener. It's totally free. It's free. Just fill it out. If you don't fill it out, I can't show you the house. I'm sorry. And they wouldn't fill it out, so that means they're just window shopping.
Yep.
And also make sure that do not be ashamed to post the price of the property, because I've seen a lot of people that post the house, right? And they don't put the price of the property, and they probably do that just to kind of see how much they can get for the house. So they don't want everybody to like know the price. For instance, let's say I don't put the price and I told one person 1800, and then I told another person 1600, and then I told another one 1700, just to kind of see how what the market's saying. I think that's a waste of time. Just put the price that you want and let that price is like the market's
Decide.
gonna tell you
Yeah.
it's too much or it's too little. And not only that, it also helps you filter all the people that have a lower budget, because there's a lot of people that only have 1200 available per month for the household. And also, if you can, Angel was telling me not to put the income requirement. Like for instance, they have to make at least three times as much than the rent
Yeah, but
to
that's like
be able to afford it.
yeah, but that's basic for anybody. But the reason why I said that was because you were like, oh, your income has to be three times the rent. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, it's the household income. Because if it's two people, that's
Well,
gonna be very hard for one
yeah, but
person.
that's common sense.
Yeah, but yeah.
Like me and you, we're one.
Yeah, but a
If
lot
they
of
ask you how much do you how much do you make per month, I don't think you're just gonna tell them how much you make. You're gonna tell them how much we make.
no, I actually just say mine.
On all my credit cards, I put both of us.
Really?
Yeah, that gives
No,
you a
you
higher.
love me.
No, that just gives you a
You
better
said
chance of
no.
getting higher limits,
You're not wrong.
because it's a household. It's not.
Yeah, but we don't live together. You're my tenant.
You know,
But yeah, those are a few things. Don't be afraid of getting in there, getting dirty, and doing
it's
stuff. It's just a
it's
number
just
game.
it's just they're just houses.
Yeah. Honestly, this transaction, like I literally woke up at 10 and I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta close at 11. Then I went to go close and Jose Luis was like, oh, babe, you have a new house. And I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot I have a new house.
Yeah,
But because I don't see them as mine. I see them like, well, that's another thing. We're in it for the long term. Like we don't have the money now. We don't see it visible. But like, let's say this might answer the question like why rent and why not do fix and flips? We feel like fix and flips are just another job.
that's another job, and you lose 10% of the sale price,
Selling any property is super expensive. You're not only paying taxes, you're paying
commissions,
commissions, you're paying closing costs.
escrow.
Yep, remodeling of the home because, like we said, they have to look like everybody else's that are selling for
Yeah,
top
so
dollar.
that's it's an income,
Yes, it is, and
so it gets taxed at a different rate as well.
yep.
And yeah, it's just no, that's not that's I don't know. I think renting is way better. You can do 1031 exchanges. You don't pay any taxes. This is like more advanced,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of strategies of depreciation. You get tax write-offs.
Mhm.
Come on. You can pass down your houses to your kids and
Kids.
your grandkids.
on a trust and they don't pay
Yeah.
taxes on it, and then you're just building generational wealth.
And you can borrow against your
Yeah,
houses
like let's say
eventually.
Jose Luis's family members or any of my family members get sick and we're like, well, we everything's in real estate. Well, guess what? Like we just said, we just pull off of the equity on one of the homes.
You can go get a HELOC real quick and
Yeah, and then fix your problem. So it's
yep.
like a little bank. We have a little bank sitting there and just requiring income without us having to do so much. So so yeah, they're good
Yeah, if
for the long term.
you got questions, ask.
Yeah.
Because we're right now we're just talking to talk. Well, we're not talking to talk, but
It's
we're
been an
just
hour,
talking
bruh. We've been
like an
talking.
overall.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right now at the end, right? But if you have specific questions, ask,
Yeah, we'd love to
and
answer
we
in
can
like our
go
next video.
deeper
Yeah.
in detail
Yeah.
about specific questions or specific things. But
But a few
it's
questions that people ask is like, what if you get a bad tenant, like this and that?
no then
Simple. Screen. Screen really good. Get a feel for them. But another one, what if they miss a monthly payment on their mortgage? So that's where it comes into your business. Like you got to make sure you have that monthly. Like they might not care about missing a monthly rent payment, but at the end of the house, you need to be scared of losing your property. So you need to make sure that in your personal life, you're making enough income for when needed, you have at least two mortgage payments.
yeah. Well, this is if you got the loan, if the bank gave you the loan, that means you can pay it,
Yeah, you can pay it, but you're not, right? Because you're
but you
no,
shouldn't.
yeah,
I
you're,
mean, you should, but it shouldn't come out of your pocket.
yeah. So, and then they're like, what if they destroy your home? And it's like, well, define destroy,
Well, that's why you got insurance.
Yeah.
You know that your insurance will cover damages.
Yeah, I
And
didn't know
look,
that.
for instance, if they damage your house, the insurance would cover the repairs of the damages that your tenants did, and they would also cover the monthly rent.
While you're fixing it?
Yep,
Really? I didn't know that. That I didn't know.
you just gotta pay the deductible, and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's like a lot of things that you can do
So
that covers you.
having insurance is really good.
Oh, yeah. It's
You should
priority.
have insurance on everything: your
Everything.
house, your cars, your phone, your life. What else? Come on, your dogs in case they get sick. Mine don't have it, but they should. No, en
But
serio.
I know they don't
Like
have
the
it.
best thing that can happen to me is for my house to burn. Of course, not with my family members inside, right? But if my house burns,
You get a whole new
I
house.
get a whole new house and I can build the house for a lot cheaper than what the house is worth, and I make money. Also with my cars, right? The best thing that can happen to one of my cars is for it to get in an accident. I mean, to get wrecked or hit or something.
Yeah.
Of
Or then people are like, well, why rent? There's a lot of taxes in that. And you're like, well, I don't know. I don't
there's
care about it. That's in my monthly payment.
no, there's no tax because remember, it's a business.
Hmm.
Look, check this out. I'm gonna show you.
No, no, no. I think the way I meant that is like people think like, sí, pero entonces, ¿quién paga las taxas al fin del año?
Oh, the taxes are already.
I already paid
The
monthly.
taxes are already in the mortgage.
Yeah, I think if
They're
you structure
calculated already.
yourself right,
But this is for well, I guess that those people are asking because their house is paid off, but like your house should never be paid off because you don't. If it's paid off, then your money, your capital is just sitting there, not doing anything,
yeah,
just appreciating, but it's not moving fast enough.
yeah.
¿Tu
What else?
pregunta?
What else do we hear? There's no money in that. There's money.
There is money, but like I
There's
said,
money. You don't see it.
we don't see it, and we still haven't seen it because I haven't for specific reasons. For instance, this house we haven't put any equity out because we have a home equity loan, and this is a good moment to teach y'all a little bit. You cannot have two home equity loans on one house.
Under the same.
Yeah, on
Oh, yeah.
one house.
Okay.
So a HELOC, what is a HELOC? Home equity line of credit.
Yeah.
That's another home equity loan. That's why we couldn't get one on this one.
But we weren't gonna get it on this. What I'm saying is that I couldn't get two because it was under my name.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the plan is to get a HELOC from this house to go buy
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one. So, once the interest rates come down a little bit more, we're going to convert this
Loan in our
this
personal
loan
home.
into a conventional loan.
Hmm.
That way we can get access to the capital or the equity in this house,
How
so we
much is
can go
sitting
buy
on this
another house.
property?
Oh, like 100,000, 100 and something,
And in Delmar?
también 100 and something, and the other one is 20, like 70, a quarter of a million. Ah!
Jose Luisa noisy.
We have almost a quarter of a million in equity.
We're a quarter of a millionaires.
We're a quarter millionaires.
We're a quarter millionaires.
Yeah.
But
Um,
if you ask about our portfolio, that's
yeah, like you see the property values, right? This house, I believe it's worth 320 at least.
mhm,
So 320. Del Mar it's a 290, almost
mhm,
300. Well, let's say 290. How much is that? 320 plus 290, 570.
sure. 320 plus 290. Now you're trying to make me do math. 290 plus 320.
That's
610.
610. And then add, let's say, conservatively, Avalon 220. That's eight. That's a portfolio of 800,000, $830,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we almost have $1 million portfolio on paper. So we're a house away from being, from having $1 million portfolio. So
No, because once you get your property, we're going to be over that because you're getting a property in the 300s.
yeah, but it's $1 million portfolio.
Oh, okay, okay. Yo no sé. Lo único que sé is that it annoys the shit out of me when people are like, they must have a lot of money. And it's like, no, it's literally all locked in real estate. But it's good.
We just have a lot of assets.
Yeah, we do have.
Not a lot of us would have assets that are worth money, but we just haven't taken full advantage of the stuff because we're still learning, but we'll get there. And we're here to show y'all the way. But yeah, ¿qué más? ¿Es todo?
Yeah, don't be scared to rent.
Yeah.
It's a good market right now. Even though interest rates are high, it scares away people that are first time home buyers. So it's perfect to go in for an investment because then what do? You just
Yeah.
refinance.
Take care of your job. Make sure you're the best employee there. Make sure you
Have
are
a good
getting
income
you're
to
getting paid.
start.
Will be the best employee there, and then after that, you're gonna get paid really good money. If you're
Yeah.
the best, you get paid good. Then go buy yourself a house with an FHA and live there for a year. Rent it out after a year. Go buy yourself another house and just watch and repeat and keep doing it over and over and over. Not hard. It just takes time, patience, and discipline. Yeah, I guess
Yep.
that's all I got to say for now because I don't have questions.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, share.
Yeah. Please comment below any questions that y'all have when it comes to rentals. We also know about fix and flips. We did one.
All of them.
No, fix and flips.
Well, we fix everything.
Oh, well, yeah.
We don't flip, but it's still flipping. It's just
It's
finding a
selling.
buyer,
Yeah, at the
selling.
end. Yeah. So
Flip
we
of
technically have fixed every one
fixing
of our
and
homes.
selling.
Yeah.
We're just fixing and renting.
Yeah. So if y'all have any questions, how y'all go about the buying process, how y'all go about finding tenants, how y'all go about acquiring a property, finding reliable, like a team to be able to do what we do. Let us know what the questions are and how we do this when we come home and we still become partners. It's pretty nice because we, me and Jose are not only partners in life, but we are also accountability partners. Whenever Jose Luis is lacking in one area in business, I'm like, hey, nah. Like, we need to do better. We have more time. Where are we bullshitting in life? Like, let's get this done. Like, let's not forget our why. So it's good. Real estate is a good reminder that we have bigger stuff coming out of life and that one day we will be fortunate enough to be able to give fruits to the ones we love the most out of these hard labors that we see now.
Hmm.
Heart, like all the tears, sweat that goes into real estate. One day, my parents, his parents, will be able to see, right? Even though they might not see it right now, we'll one day they'll be able to see the fortunes that we were, what is it, mining? Yeah, that we were working on the vision. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's cool. It's a daily reminder. So
Yep.
get into it, get dirty. Don't be afraid. The market's gonna do what the market does. You can only control what you can, and you pray for the rest. So
Yeah.
yeah, do good, kind people, and good stuff will come to you. So, all right, guys, that ends this video. I'm sorry it was mostly all business. I know a lot of people don't come here for business stuff, but I know that there is a lot of question into like, how do y'all manage it? How do y'all do it? It's basically just us two. And sometimes Analia, she'll go and she's like, Dad, don't miss that crack. That's about as much as she contributes. But it's really nice to see Analia and her little gears going because I feel like she looks up to us a lot. And one day it's going to be amazing to see her do what we do now because she's been in the middle of it all. So she's not going to be afraid of money. It's a really cool thing to see my daughter. So thank you, babe.
She's not going to be depressed because of money.
No, but thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so y'all don't miss any one of our videos. Let us know what y'all would like to hear from here on forward. Any questions? And then, yeah, peace out.